move coming. I got 5 free agent targets the Seattle Seahawks could sign this offseason. We'll tell you who those individuals are. Also, by the way, they're at 5 different positions as well. And I'll say this. Let me make something clear before all of you come after my throat. I don't want to hear any excuses about they don't have money, they don't have salary cap space, only $6 million in cap space. We've already been over this. We've done several videos on this, including this past week, talking about how with a few extensions and a few players released, they can open up $70+ million in cap space. So money is not a problem here, folks. Let's make that very clear. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We begin with Cam Robinson at the offensive tackle position, most recently with the Minnesota Vikings. And I got to tell you, Cam Robinson, this guy's a difference maker. He was solid in Jacksonville, had a decent run there with the Minnesota Vikings. I would be all in favor of bringing in Cam Robinson. And he's still relatively young at this point in his career. 2017 second-round pick out of Alabama by the Jags. Joined the Vikings in 2024. A lot of experience, 101 career games played with 101 starts. And the thing that I would say for folks out there that may be looking at Cam Robinson and say, well, he's an offensive tackle. We already have Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. The objective for John Schneider in this new offensive staff with Clint Kubiak and company is that you just need to put the best 5 guys out there. All right? I could play Cam at a tackle spot, and I can move Abraham Lucas to guard if I need to. If I can bring Cam Robinson in, I'll find a way to make it work and get the best 5 out there. His numbers this past season, overall grade, not bad, 64.7. Pass blocking, he was really strong, a 70.4. Run blocking could use some work, 59.9. But I can live with those numbers. I think Cam Robinson would be a solid fit for this Seahawks offensive line, and you'd be feeling much better about yourselves if Cam Robinson was involved here. Our pinned comment today, should the Hawks sign Cam Robinson? Type S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Folks, we passed up 63,000 subscribers, but we're not slowing down there. I want to get to 63,500 subscribers. And you may be wondering, why should I subscribe? Well, we are bringing you live shows, not just once but twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. We have our daily news and rumors, breaking news, interactive Q&A mailbags. We are bringing you up-to-the-minute Seahawks coverage you won't find anywhere else. If you're a real member of the 12s, you got to be subscribed to Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now. Tell all your friends. Make sure they subscribe. You'll be glad you did. With Tyler Lockett likely out, Seattle's going to find other options at the receiver position. And one guy that I have had my eye on within the division is Tutu Atwell of the LA Rams. And this is somebody that is evolving. All right? He is getting better, and I don't think that he's reached his full potential just yet. I think that he is heading in the right direction. You can get him for a decent price and right in the prime of his career right now. Tutu Atwell coming off a season where he had career highs in catches and receiving yards, the Super Bowl champion with the LA Rams, the former second-round pick out of Louisville. And you put him in this offense, all right? It's already got DK and you got JSN. Tutu, I think, would be a natural fit to slide into that number 3 receiving role to fill the spot from Tyler Lockett. And you look at the way his production has increased and the way that Tyler Lockett's production has gone down, I have every reason to think that Tutu's production would be even more than what we've seen from Tyler Lockett as of late, and a much cheaper price than Tyler Lockett as well. I think you would be thrilled if you had Tutu Atwell a part of this offense and still just very young, 25 years old. I'd love to have him on my team. I think he makes a lot of sense. Next up, we turn our attention to the defense, and that's where we find Marlon Humphrey, the corner from the Baltimore Ravens. It sounds like the Ravens are likely to release Marlon Humphrey, making him a free agent, and this is a Mike Mack guy. He played under Mike Macdonald with the Baltimore Ravens. He thrived in that defense. And you look at this corner position for Seattle right now. Rick Wallen's coming back. He's going to be one of your starting outside corners. Devin Witherspoon has turned into arguably the best nickel corner in all of football. But you have a glaring, obvious need at the other outside corner spot. I know a lot of you like Josh Jobe, and I like Josh Jobe. He's a great story as a former practice squad player, but he has no business whatsoever being a starting corner in the NFL. He's fine to be my backup, and I'd be okay with that, by all means. But you can do a hell of a lot better than Josh Jobe, and you can do so with a guy like Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey, two-time first-team All-Pro, including this past season, four-time Pro Bowler, also including this past season. And he's not just a coverage guy either. This is somebody that led the NFL in forced fumbles in 2020 with 8 total, and he's coming off arguably the best season of his career. He is a turnover machine. 6 interceptions this past year, 67 tackles, 5 TFLs, 15 pass breakups, and 4 QB hits. And Mike Macdonald, the thing I like about Mike, he gets the most out of his players. I have every reason to think that he would get the most out of Marlon Humphrey as well, and that he'd be a great fit in this Seahawks defense. If you had to pick one to sign, would you rather go Tutu or would you rather go Marlon Humphrey? Type Tutu for Tutu Atwell. Type MH for Marlon Humphrey. Get in that comment section. Let us know which one you would rather sign. Up next, we find Matthew Judon, who has had a very good career. Most recently with the Atlanta Falcons. He was traded there from New England this past season. And before that, he was with the Baltimore Ravens. And then he went to the New England Patriots. And I think he's still got something left to offer. And one theme that we've talked about on this program over the last year plus, since Mike Macdonald's been Seattle's head coach, has been the track record that Mike Macdonald has with these older pass rushers. From the Justin Houstons of the world to the Kyle Van Noys, the Jadeveon Clowneys, you get the idea. He takes these older pass rushers that don't command a lot of money, and he maximizes their potential. And I think Matthew Judon still has something left in the tank, and I think that Mike Macdonald can get something out of him as far as that goes. Wasn't too long ago that Judon was a Pro Bowler, 2022 to be exact. And, I mean, this is somebody that was a former 5th-round pick out of Grand Valley State, went to the Ravens. And the thing I see about Judon, he gets kind of counted out. The Ravens, they wrote him off too quick. The Patriots, they sent him to Atlanta for next to nothing. And then this year in Atlanta, sounds like they're not going to bring him back. I think he has something left to offer. I think he has something still to prove that he can play at a high level in this league and be a difference maker. You look at this past season, 5.5 sacks in 17 games played. We've seen what Mike Mack has done, where he's taken guys like this that maybe had 4 or 5.5 sacks on their previous team. They come play for Mike Mack, and they go get 9+. And I think Judon could do that. There's a need for it in Seattle, especially with Draymond Jones likely not coming back. I think he'd be a natural fit for what Seattle's looking to do. We got one more name that we'll tell you about here in a moment, but first, I got a deal for you, folks. We got Seahawks hats on sale now, 50% off. While supplies last, from the baseball cap style to the flat bill, all sorts of different options for you. Go see for yourself, chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. We have these hats. We have plenty of more hats to choose from, as well as the rest of our Seahawks gear. Go check it out today, chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/Seahawks hats to get yours today. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. Last name, another one within the division here. So you get to hurt a division rival in the process, is Will Hernandez, the 29-year-old offensive guard from the Arizona Cardinals. Before he got hurt this past year, he was playing really well. He had a good start to the 2024 campaign, got banged up, so he's coming off injury. So the good news for Seattle is that he shouldn't cost you a ton with kind of looking for a prove-it contract. But For the Hawks, this is a guy that's an immediate starter. We don't expect Laken Tomlinson to come back. We have no idea what to expect from Anthony Bradford and Christian Haynes there. Will Hernandez, he signs, he's starting. Whether it's left or right guard, I don't know, but he's going to start on this team in one way or another. Plenty of experience, 97 career games played with 91 starts. Joined the Cardinals in 2022 after previously playing for the New York Giants. Former second-round pick out of UTEP. And I mentioned that he had a good start to this year prior to the injury. Here's what I mean by that. You look at the grades. Had a 69.3 overall grade, a pass block rate of 74.2, and a run block rate of 66. Those numbers, I know they don't necessarily jump off the page, but they are a lot better than anything we saw from the offensive guard spot this past season. That'll work. You can find a place for Will Hernandez and be a guy that can come in and be a difference maker right away for this Seahawks team. I think it's a no-brainer here. 5 players that I would be happy with all 5 of them. I would gladly welcome all 5 of those players. And on top of that, folks, even with the cap situation, won't it cost you an arm and a leg? I'm all in. Who's the player the Hawks should sign in free agency? I've given you 5. There's obviously plenty more out there that you can choose from. Give me a name in the comments section that you would like to see end up in Seattle. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for the latest happenings on your favorite team all offseason long. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next time.